Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Dover Development Review Board meeting for May 14th. My name is Sarah Shippey. I'm the board chair. And I would like to ask the rest of the board to introduce themselves.
Linda McCarthy. Geraldine Golette.
Jack
Jack Conway.
and Stephen.
Steve Montello.
Okay. There's a sign-in sheet. So anyone in the room, please sign in. Jeanette, how do you want to handle identifying people who are on the chat? Do you want them to put something in the notes or?
Well, I know I'm familiar with Brian and Robert. Alexandra, I believe, is from Mount Snow.
Yes, she is.
And
Yes,
Chris,
that's correct. Thank you.
and Chris Furry, I'm not sure. Is he with the other application or?
Chris Drury. Chris, you're muted.
Yeah, hi, sorry about that. Yeah, 22 Forest Heights Road, thank you.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit.
Hi, I'm with 22 Forest Heights Road for one of the
Okay,
things tonight.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And, all right. So the warning is as follows. We're to consider application 26 MS 100-01 by Mount Snow Limited, 39 Mount Snow Road, Westover, for development in a flood hazard area for the Snow Lake Dam removal. And to consider application 26 DN 003-01 by David Cotton Design for Patrick and Alex Doherty, 10 Forest Heights Road, Westover, for conditional use development in a wildlife overlay for an attached garage with a mud room and deck, and to consider any other business which may legally come before the DRB. So the way this process works is each application is its own quasi-judicial hearing. I will swear everyone in for the evening, and then each applicant will be invited up to the table to tell us about the proposal. The board will then ask questions of the applicant, after which interested parties will have an opportunity to offer information or ask questions. The board will vote on whether or not to close the hearing this evening, and we'll move on to the next application. Our decision-making process happens during deliberative session, which is closed to the public. This is not a select board meeting where there is a public comment period. Caring about an application or following its progress is not enough to allow you to participate this evening. You need to qualify as an interested party, and this board is legally bound to grant you interested party status should you qualify. Most often, interested parties are individuals who own a property in the immediate neighborhood of the property under discussion. Anyone who has received a notification about this hearing would probably be an interested party, would likely be qualified. They would just need to demonstrate that by providing their address. Anyone else present who had not received a notice will need to demonstrate to the board that they meet the requirements. The requirements are included. We have a handout on them. I'm not sure where it is. I don't see it at the top of the stairs. But it generally, an interested party is somebody whose property abuts. That's the shortest and most direct way to qualify. There is an appeal process for any decision made here. Only an interested party or applicant may make an appeal of our decision to the environmental court. In order to make the appeal, participation in the hearing is required. You must offer testimony either in person or in writing in order to retain your right to appeal later and be kept up to date on the proceedings. You can't just be here and say, well, I was there, I'm an interested party. You have to actually participate in the hearing. By next Tuesday, draft minutes of this meeting will be posted at the library, the Eastover Post Office, the town clerk's office, and in this meeting room. We strongly recommend that all applicants and anyone who offers testimony review the minutes to ensure that their testimony was accurately recorded. Any inconsistencies may be addressed under other business at subsequent hearings until those minutes have been approved, which is typically 2 to 4 weeks after the hearing. At this time, I would like to ask anyone who is planning to offer testimony to please, if you're in the room, you can stand and raise your right hand. If you're not in the room, I will ask you simply to raise your right hand and be on camera so we can see you. And say I do when I finish. I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
I do.
Chris Drury, is there any way for you to be on camera long enough to show us you've raised your hand and said I do?
I do, thank you.
Okay, all right, so we've gotten everybody on. We've got it, we have a view that's not letting me see everybody, it's just giving me, can we get like a whole?
Hold on.
Well, can I get the whole, can I switch from main screen to everybody? That would be better. Gallery, yeah, thank you. Okay. Great. All right, so. Unfortunately for the people, for the Dohertys, this is going to be kind of time consuming because Mount Snow is listed first, unless Mount Snow wishes to step aside and let the other application be heard first. Just thinking in terms of time commitment.
I'd appreciate that if you don't mind.
It's fine.
Is that okay? I don't want to, you guys have first dibs.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
All right. Okay, so we're going to hear the second warrant application first, which is 26DN003-01 by David Cotton of Cotton Design for Patrick and Alex Doherty. Has this been properly warned and posted?
Yes, it has.
Okay. And who do we have presenting? Are you David Cotton? Okay, and we have written permission from the applicant for Mr. Cotton to present. And do we have, let's see here, have all the abutters been notified?
As far as I know, yes.
They have been, and were they notified in a timely manner, meaning they didn't find out yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Debbie, if you didn't notify them, you can't answer that question. You gave them a list, you don't know what you did with it.
We did notify everybody.
Okay. All right. So we have a conflict of interest policy for this board. Any board member who feels they cannot dispassionately render a decision on this, I would ask that they recuse themselves. Does anyone fall into that category?
No.
I do not. No.
Okay, great. All right, having taken care of the business, I will now invite you to pull a chair up a little closer to the microphone. And tell us about your application.
We were hired by the Dohertys to design a two-car garage next to their house. This is a picture of the area next to our house with a somewhat park now, not all brilliant. So they sort of picture of the location. So we did the design and went to Barry to fill out the application for the zoning permit and found out that we needed to get a letter from.
You gave it to us, right?
Okay. A letter
From
from
Tyler
the
Brown.
state,
From the wildlife biologist.
correct.
Mhm.
And I do have which maybe you have also is a site plan.
We don't have it that big.
So here's the existing house. Here's the connector and the driveway, which is basically that area that we're seeing there where the wood is in here.
Mhm.
And here there is an existing deck here, and we're adding that portion of the deck.
Okay, so we're actually adding in two different locations on the house.
That's correct.
Okay,
A deck here and a mud room, which everybody needs, and a two-car garage.
okay.
Okay. Sarah,
And we,
Set that.
hold on a second, Jeanette?
yes, what site plan are you looking at? What this is pictured?
We have, it's sheet C1. I don't think it's in our.
It isn't.
Oh,
It's in,
This one.
it's labeled site plan. And it's labeled C1. Do you have that in the packet? You have many pages.
I do have many pages.
It's a black and white drawing. It's not one of the color pages.
Ah, okay. Okay, does it have benchmark on the top of it?
Hold on a second,
Okay,
try something.
I was gonna hold it up.
yeah, it just says site plan C1. Okay, got it. I got it. Yeah, oh, thanks, got it.
Cameras. Okay. So that, if you look at that,
Yes.
there's, there are two sort of shaded areas to the left, closer to Forest Heights. We're ignoring those. We're looking at the, it says proposed garage
Mm-hmm.
and then proposed connector, which is mudroom. And then on the opposite side of the house, we've got, an existing deck and then a hashed area that will be the proposed deck.
Yes,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, great. And so we are confirming that no part of the proposed construction is less than 15 feet from a property line.
That's correct.
Okay,
Asked me to put those dimensions in, how far from the structure to the, not the property line, but to the setback line. And that's what we have here
okay, so the deck, am I reading this correctly? The deck is 3 feet at its closest point from the setback.
from the setback,
Okay,
correct.
all right,
And this about 25 feet.
okay. All right. So, Jerry, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. So,
Okay,
so what you're adding to the deck is 28 feet. It says 28 feet.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you're adding 28
28
feet
by
this
30.
way to the, it's already to the deck, and then another 13
This
feet.
is the existing deck right here.
Okay, so you're adding,
And this square footage
okay,
of the new deck,
which is 28 feet by
28 by 13.
by 13.
And I gave Barry the square footage for the payment.
Okay, so the numbers didn't come out on here. I'm just trying to
Oh,
figure this
okay.
out.
You can have this if you want.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this. Thank you.
And
And
this is 26 by 26 with a 12-foot by, I guess we didn't have it on here, about 20 foot.
so you're extending another 38 feet
Correct.
to the setback. Okay. Thank you.
and I'm sorry, you said 12 by 20?
Mhm.
And the primary portion of the deck is 13 by 28.
Correct. This is basically a walkway from the other one.
And how many feet did you say you were from the fault line, from the fault line?
Setback.
The setback.
The deck is 3 feet to the setback line.
Okay,
And the garage is 25 feet to the setback line.
Oh,
And the setback line is how far from the property line?
15.
15.
right. So did you have the square footage of these two pieces, the pieces that are not represented by the 13 by 28?
I think, Barry, you might have that.
Yeah.
That square footage of the deck. Total square footage of the deck.
500 square feet.
How many?
500 is what you have in your application.
300. Yeah, maybe it's at that most that, because I paid some 10 cents a square foot for whatever.
Okay, and so you're saying there's an additional 136 square feet?
Let's use the magic wand.
Yes, please.
100 equals 20 feet. So it's 28 by 13, and then another piece that is 11 by 7, number 77, and then a walkway that is 4 feet by 13. That's
Okay.
approximately the total of the deck, proposed deck.
So this is the house right here.
That's correct.
So it's going. It's going in back.
It's
on the
right
side.
here where
It's
it's
gonna
clear.
go on the side.
We've got pictures.
How far is it from here? How far is it to where these trees are? Do you have any idea?
From here, from the front of the house to where the trees are
Mhm.
here. It's probably 70 feet.
Okay, and from where this is. Where you're extending the deck and putting in the garage is on the other side, so the garage will be that far from the woods.
Right
Okay,
here. Yes,
yeah,
and there's woods all along here. This is,
thank you.
so we're talking about it back here.
Right. So this is. Okay, the deck is on the other side and the garage is over here. Okay.
Okay, so,
Picture that I gave you that I one. Right there. That is the best one because this is the area where this is wood under here, the logs. that we're
Okay.
doing. That's pretty much where we put in the garage.
Mhm.
It's a flat area that. Is,
We're asking about questions, we take the wildlife overlay very serious.
okay, so Jeanette, there's a photograph that's part of the submission that shows this gentleman in the photograph, and there's a pile of wood that's under a blue tarp.
She does not have that.
Oh, she doesn't have
no,
this?
so
No.
that just.
Oh, okay,
You can have it and.
so,
I'll scan it and send that to you.
okay, so,
Okay.
but I'm asking for, so Jeanette has it for reference.
Yes,
The photograph that includes the person and the pile of wood under the blue tarp represents the approximate location of the garage,
Okay,
okay? So we'll call this exhibit A. Just so we have a reference for it,
okay,
okay?
Yes.
And Tabby will scan this and add it to the record for all of us. Okay, so, all right, do you have any questions?
No.
Jack, questions?
No.
Steve, questions?
Yeah, there was mention of a wildlife letter. I didn't see that in my package. Is there something in that letter that I should know about?
I can read it to you. And we'll have Tabby scan it. It'll be exhibit B.
Okay,
So it can be part of the document. But it's Tyler Brown, wildlife specialist. I have no concerns related to wildlife for this project. Keep in mind that if this project is under Act 250 or triggers Act 250, we would provide our official comment under that application. The wildlife overlay you're referring to is something that the town of Dover has established and is separate from state requirements. For some reason, the town refers people to the department's biologist for comment. So I guess he's saying he doesn't really have to weigh in, but we say he does. So
but he has no concern.
he has no concern. Yes, the long and short of it is he has no concern.
There you go. Okay.
Make it, get back around to the point in the matter. Okay, did you have any other questions, Steve?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, are you going to be installing exterior lighting on the garage?
Yes.
Okay,
Downward.
down,
We're not choosing it. They have a designer that's choosing the downward.
That's good.
okay, do we have a cut sheet for that?
We can get you one.
Okay.
Shielded lighting.
Cut sheet. And is there going to be motion sensor or is it strictly on off?
I don't know that answer, but I would probably think it would be on off.
Okay,
They live down south of Boston. And come up and enjoy their Vermont home.
okay. See, to me, that means I would want motion sensor, so I wouldn't have to be in the house to turn it on. That would be my prefer. If it was my house, that's what I would
Unless they
want.
came up and clicked the button and the door opens and there's a light inside the garage.
Okay, so,
It could be. but
right.
Every time an
I
animal
will
looks through
get
the
all
light.
information.
Yeah, I know. Don't scare the animals. Keep them bears out.
Bears.
Okay, so on the cut sheet, can we make sure that it specifies whether it's on, off, or motion sensor? And the location of the
The light,
lights
yeah.
on the garage?
I can get that.
I'm not concerned about interior lighting. I'm only
Okay,
concerned
I
about
can get
exterior.
that to you tomorrow,
Sounds
because
good.
we did an electrical plan, and I'll get the cut sheet for you tomorrow.
Okay,
If, are you in?
I'm not in tomorrow physically here,
Okay.
but send it to me. I'll see it pop up in my email and I'll.
well,
be able-
the way it'll be
to add
written, it should, assuming we approve the application, one of the conditions will be that this be provided.
Sure.
So once it's provided, she would be allowed to issue
Okay.
the decision subject to our approval of the.
Okay.
Okay. What about exterior lighting for the deck?
Yes,
Okay. We'll also need that information.
there may also be up in the peak of the garage,
Mhm.
there may be a spotlight. And
I would need the cut sheet for that.
if, yeah, a spotlight, if there was some reason they needed to. Who's out there?
Gotcha. No, I get it.
The Bears.
The bears.
The bears, right?
Electrical,
No facility, no septic facilities, I would assume.
no additional.
No additional.
You're not putting, well, we don't even need to,
I don't-
you're not putting an outhouse in there, are you?
We are not putting an outhouse or outbuilding, no.
Okay. No outdoor shower on the deck.
Should mention that too, that's a good. The way that the house. It's hard to explain, but the way the house is that when you drive up the driveway and come in, you're basically coming in the back door.
Right.
The front of the house with main entry, it's just how the plans were, we didn't do them, but how it was laid out.
Mm.
So they said we need a garage and we need that 12-foot area is a mudroom, and who doesn't need a mudroom?
Right.
So
So we're looking, the picture we're looking at that has the hot tub on it, where is the deck relative to that?
the existing one is back here.
Okay, so
It's coming
the,
forward and coming around the front of this.
okay, so the photograph that shows us, and we'll call this exhibit C, because this didn't come in. So
Floor plans,
so as we're looking at this photograph with the hot tub in it,
yeah,
the deck is to the right and the garage is to the left
the garage is.
in the back. Okay,
Let's look at this, and here's the narrow, so this is looking west,
Yeah.
so the deck is on the west, the garage.
right, so
is-
they're kind of diagonally across from each other.
I'll tell you here.
Okay,
Then you have of the existing house. So it's, yeah, this. So here's the existing area that's here, we're coming out here with the addition. And then the garage is here. And here's the existing house, and we're coming out with this,
okay,
and they actually own. Property, this is part of their lands. This Duncan Road going
Right.
through, so they own both of those,
okay.
but this.
The Duncan Road still counts as a,
They would never build on it, it'd be anything like. So,
all right, we have that in a smaller version, yes?
you have the proposed plan, that's exactly what, but this was existing, that's the proposed plan, and it shows. The garage, the
gotcha.
connector, and here's the new deck.
Okay, so the existing ends here? Oh, here, okay.
I think it said something on there, existing and proposed.
You need these back?
You can have it. Yeah, it helps you.
Yeah, for
It's easy, and the same thing with photographs.
Okay. All right, Jack, are you all set?
Yep.
Steve, are you all set?
Yep.
Okay,
I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, it's a little bit awkward. We can't really vote on whether to continue or close the hearing because I got two of you not in the room, and we can't have a we can't have a private conversation. So,
We could throw everybody out.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna do an informal straw poll. Steve or Jack, do you feel like we need any additional information before we render a decision?
This is
As
Steve.
long as-
No. This is Steve. No.
Yeah, Steve?
No.
Okay. Do we
As-
want to
as-
wait to have the cut sheets in hand before we issue our decision?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Why
All
can't we
right.
just make it conditional?
Well, we could, except say they submitted cut sheets that we didn't think met the standard. And we said, you have to come back with different ones. We could go roundy round with that.
I'll have those by Monday. I don't know if you're gonna have to go to another meeting.
We do. If we continue, we have to.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna make a proposal here. That we ask to have the cut sheets submitted. We continue the hearing for 2 weeks. In that 2-week period, I write my decision. And take the cut sheets that we get. And if the cut sheets meet the standard in the bylaw, the decision is written. If they don't, he has 2 weeks to come back with a different set. And we still have the decision written, so by May 28th, which is when we would continue to, excuse me, we would be able to issue
Mhm.
a written
I
decision.
get it.
Are you guys okay with that? My only concern, and Steve, you're right, we could absolutely write the decision and say, subject to receipt of cut sheets, but we would have to make it subject to receipt of cut sheets that met the bylaw standard.
We're happy to do that way. I am, because they want to start construction. And I know that.
Can I
it
tell
has
you
nothing to
something?
do.
You're gonna have to wait no matter what, because I have to have time to write my
Yeah,
decision.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
this is not my full-time
yeah,
job,
yeah. I understand.
even close. So what is your pleasure, gentlemen? Say vote on it tonight. And presume that we will get cut sheets that we agree with. Or continue for 2 weeks, make sure the cut sheets are things we agree with, and take it from there.
I mean, this is Steve. I'd
Continue.
rather just vote on it tonight, expecting that we're
Okay.
going to get it conforming to
Okay.
the regulations.
Okay, so all right, so we can work through it with the conditions, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't wanna do that.
you don't want to do that.
I don't wanna vote tonight on it. I'd rather have the cut sheets in front of me.
Okay,
That
I
would
agree.
Makes more sense to me than we don't have to go back. And they don't need to do anything different. If we get them and they're right, then we vote on it. It's just 2 weeks.
okay.
We have to have another meeting to do that, though, Jerry, right?
That's okay with me.
Okay.
Well, okay. We're having our deliberative session in public, which is kind of awkward.
Well, I'll go with the majority. If everybody else agrees with that, then.
So could I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, could I have a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Steve will second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 They've got a majority.
You got a majority anyway, so,
Well, you can vote, you still vote no, you can still register your
yeah,
objection.
I'm registering my objection.
Okay, great. And so am I, so it's gonna be a 3-2 vote.
Ooh.
It's a rarity.
Yeah, it is a rarity.
So what this means is we cannot, with the exception of the things we've mentioned tonight, we cannot ask for any additional information or take additional testimony. And since we didn't have any, I didn't even ask, are there any interested parties here for this hearing? Okay, Mr. Drury,
Yeah.
what would you like to contribute here?
Well, I don't know if this is usually what happens there, but I'd like two things. One is, when would you anticipate the project would begin and when would it stop?
Timeline.
Timeline.
It's going to start whatever the waiting period is after the permit has been issued,
Mhm.
and it's going to stop probably perhaps in the late fall.
Okay, identify late fall for me.
That would be after Thanksgiving, before Christmas.
Wow,
That's
that's
not fall, that's
early
winter.
winter here.
Winter's
Late
December
fall here.
21st.
No, it's not. I don't care what the calendar says. Winter is not December 21st. Winter is when the snow starts falling and the ground is
But I
frozen.
can say it would be in the, let me see, June, July. Sometime in early December.
So a 6-month project.
I think so.
Okay, and is there a regulation in the town for hours of building during the day?
Days
No.
and hours of operation.
There's no regulation. We can impose conditions.
Okay, yeah, I just love it if it wouldn't be going on at 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Okay, so you're asking that we put time parameters around the construction.
Yeah, like not on the weekends and not at late after 6 o'clock at night. That would be great.
Okay, so this is neither here nor there, but I have a question. If they're not able to get it done in time, what would you think about it going on longer in the year because they weren't able to go because of weather or whatever?
Well, you don't have much control over that, though. It'd be fantastic if it didn't happen over the Christmas break.
I'm sure everybody would.
So not at Christmas.
Including the people. Now, you can make requests. We don't have to honor them.
Okay,
We're not bound by your requests, but we can hear them.
I'll put the request in and you can make the
Okay.
decision.
So we'll consider that as part of the conditions when we
All right.
when we vote on it.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
Jeanette?
Yeah. So, Mr. Drury, could you identify, you're in a butter, obviously?
Yes, yeah,
where-
I'm right above at 22 Forest Heights.
22 Forest.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would look down on this. I don't have a picture to even know where this
That's
goes,
funny.
but it
I looked down on this.
well, I'm just above it, so.
No, I know.
Yeah.
so
You're talking geographically, I'm talking philosophically.
Yeah. No, if I looked down on it, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, no, I think I'm okay with, obviously, I think it's great that people improve their places and the value. So I think it's fine, but I just wanted to just be here to check in to see exactly how it might play out.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sure.
All
Thank you
right.
for including me.
all right. Now, if we were to issue you a finish by date, I mean, you have to be done. What do you want?
I would have to talk to the general contractor, and of course, if you're saying you can't work after 6 o'clock at night, then it gets a little bit longer, but we'll see. I think it's a 6 months project, so. I don't know, I know there's conditions can be put on, something like that. I think the clients want to be in
Mhm.
for the holiday, so. So I would think that it would be, 6 months, it could be done by the end of the year.
Okay.
Which is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anybody?
No.
And some of it, by the way, is interior work that could go on inside where nobody.
And not affect
hears
anything. Right.
Right.
And if that's happening in January or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I will get you the cut sheets, all of the lights.
Yeah.
And which would include the deck.
Mhm.
and the, well,
In the garage.
lighting up of the garage that do
Any exterior lighting that is going to be added because of this project.
correct, okay. That's good.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Welcome, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Thanks, everybody.
okay.
This is all together. This is,
Yeah, I need
I'll
to
sort this out for you.
take out anything that's marked with S and exhibit because Tabby has to scan that. Everything else I need to put in. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We very much appreciate it. So.
Hang on, I'll get them to you.
Okay, we are now going to move to, is it 25 MS? Did they start the application?
Read exhibit A.
Should be 26.
Oh, yeah, it's just, this is a typo. Okay, we are now going to go to,
I don't know, where's exhibit A? Do you have it?
I don't,
I have it already.
oh, she already
Oh,
took
you
it.
already have them. Okay.
MS 100-01 by Mount Snow Limited, 39 Mount Snow Road for development in a flood hazard area, Snow Lake Dam removal. All right, do we have any butters here? Everyone here is participating in the project directly from Mount Snow. Is this, am I right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And was this hearing properly warned and posted? And were all of your abutters notified?
Yes,
And were they notified in a timely manner?
yes.
Nobody got their letter yesterday. All right. So it says here that you're seeking this permit because of development of flood hazard area, but this is also a PUD amendment, right? Isn't Mount Snow, isn't all
Mount
of Mount?
Snow is a PUD.
Right.
Right. Is this part of Mount Snow? Are we gonna have to consider PUD conditions in this?
I did not think so, but I could be wrong because this is
Is this part of the property that is identified as Mount Snow?
part of the overall Mount Snow land
Right,
and property.
so it is also a PUD amendment,
It is.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it would be.
I used to draw water in a snowball and
Okay. Doesn't mean much to you, it just means what stuff we have to consider when we write the decision.
Yeah.
And this is,
this is all free.
thank you, my dear. Okay. Why don't you, who's gonna be our primary presenter?
Myself and Brian Fody.
Okay, and, oh, Brian, I think I couldn't read his name from here, sorry. Why don't you come on up so you're near the microphone?
Yep.
And, before, Jeanette, have I asked all the right questions before we started? Cause I forgot to ask about abutters on the last one.
Did you ask about conflict of interest?
I did not, thank you very much. See, this is why I need you, Jeanette.
That's why I get paid, yeah.
So our board has a conflict of interest policy. Anyone who feels that they cannot impartially render a decision on this is obligated to recuse themselves. I would have to say, just informally, I think probably everybody in this town has some sort of affiliation or connection to Mount Snow. So if we waited until nobody had any connections, you guys could never do anything. Having said that, Jack, do you feel you can be impartial on this matter?
Yes.
Steve, same question.
Yes.
Jerry?
No,
No? Okay, so Jerry's gonna recuse from this decision.
Yes, I can.
Okay, and I believe I can. I don't even ski anymore, so,
I'll listen.
okay. All right. Thank you, Jeanette. That was important.
Okay.
It was. It almost never happens, but, okay, why don't you go ahead and start and kind of describe, and this is a big project.
Yeah, this is a big project. Obviously, what we're here today focus on is related to the flood hazard area specifically, but just as far as an initial overview, with me, Leah, by the way, would love to be here today. She's traveling, she's not able to be here, which is why she's not here. She's coming back from Colorado for work, not fun. So
Yeah, right,
yeah.
sure.
But yeah, Dan Temke's the director of base operations, here with us. Brian Cody with SLR, Robert Wilde with VHB, are both partners in this project. And my name is Andrew Lampert. I'm the Senior Manager of Snow Services at Mount Snow. So this project is a restoration project for the North Branch to Deerfield River, per condition of our Act 250 master plan, where we've been talking for many years about getting rid of this in-stream reservoir once our new Westlake snowmaking facility came online. So through Act 250, we have our deadline of November 2027 to get the dam removed. We're currently on track, we believe, pending permitting approval. To do so, we're currently in the permitting process, obviously, with the town, with DC, Act 250 Commission, Army Corps, and then the Vermont Division of Historic Preservation on getting permits completed to be able to maintain that timeline. So pending everything goes well, we're hoping for a drawdown of the lake this fall, late summer, early fall, which would allow us to do construction next summer. So summer 2027 is the target for construction. But as I mentioned, specific to this is how it relates to the flood hazard area. So I'm going to pass it over to Brian Cody, who did the calculations for the floodplain maps and the impacts this project will have on the flood areas.
Okay. Take it away.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I would ask you to speak as clearly as you can because you're right on the verge of me not being able to hear you.
Okay, I will do. I was going to share some slides. If that's
Brian, yeah, put in a request to share and I will allow it.
Says disabled share, host disabled attendee.
No, you should be able to if you put in do the request. Hang on a second. You should be able to. Hold on a second. You should be able to at this point. Put the request to share. It should allow you to request to share, and then I will grant it.
It's just giving a pop-up that says disabled share, I think.
Yeah, host disabled attendees screen share.
Hang on one moment. Let me make sure that works. Of course, they just updated it again, so. I don't know. Hold on a moment. Try it now, please.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Of course they did.
Can folks see the screen okay?
Yes.
I'm going to minimize your head. There we go. So.
Okay, so I'll start with a quick overview of the project. This is the title sheet of our design plans that was submitted with the application. And if we zoom in the middle here, kind of give I'm sure you all familiar with Snow Lake. You have South Access Road along the south side of the lake, Handle Road, Snow Lake Road, the Snow Lake Lodge, Snow Barn. So this is the general footprint of the project here. And one of the first steps of the project is, as Andrew alluded to, will be to draw this down. It will help consolidate the material that's been sitting under the lake for many years, and then also allow some of the vegetation to grow up before our construction begins in 2027. So right here at close to the South Access Road is the controls for the reservoir impoundment. There's a riser structure, which you may have seen, that controls the water level behind the dam. South Access Road is considered the dam. There's 4 overflow culverts. Then you have the Deerfield downstream, and then you have where it enters is just under Handle Road here. So part of the project will be to remove that control so that the water is no longer held up behind the dam, and install a new culvert under the roadway that's capable of passing the 100-year flood, large floods. It's also a bank full width dimension, so that the width of the culvert will meet those requirements. And then within the footprint of the former impoundment will be a channel and floodplain restoration that will take place, as well as installation of 4 stormwater, what are referred to as gravel wetlands that treat stormwater, and that's going to help Mount Snow meet some of the state permitting that's coming down the road in the future. That's a quick overview, but I have some other plans here that I'll share that will show those improvements within the lake. Here's the cover page for our design report that was also submitted as part of the application. And embedded in this report, there's a lot of information, including information about our hydraulic analysis that we performed. So we needed to do that for many reasons, but one of them is to look at the floodplain and the hydraulics of both the existing conditions and future proposed conditions once the project is built. This slide is of the current FEMA flood insurance rate maps that are in effect in the town. Here in the middle, you can see Snow Lake, and then the blue shaded area is what's referred to as a Zone A, special flood hazard area. We often unofficially call that an approximate Zone A, which really means that there hasn't been a detailed analysis completed here that you sometimes see on the floodplain maps. I also just clipped part of the town's regulations that talks about, new construction, substantial improvements in an area where there hasn't been a detailed analysis, and which triggers the need to do a hydraulic analysis that shows there isn't an increase of a foot or more within your study area. So that was part of the reason why we did the hydraulic analysis for Snow Lake in our design.
So you're saying the whole area in blue is flood area,
Sorry,
correct?
yeah.
Considered part of the flood hazard zone
flood hazard.
by FEMA.
Yeah, so the light blue shaded area is the current FEMA flood hazard zone.
Yeah.
This next figure is taken out of our design report, and it just shows the location of our hydraulic analysis. So the blue line that goes through the Snow Lake and downstream is the flow line of the channel. It includes the Handle Road culvert and the existing Handle Road culvert, and what's currently now the riser structure and overflow pipes under South Access Road. The green lines that you see here are areas where we enter geometric data that defines the shape of the channel and the floodplain. And we also included, dimensions and the information to simulate what the impacts of the dam and the culvert are when you send water downstream. So once we have this built, we can look at any number of flow scenarios. So anything from a low flow condition up to 100 and 500-year floods or larger. So this was the basis of our analysis, which helped us understand the flood elevations through the lake, both existing and with the project in place. Let's see. So this is one of the sheets out of our plan set. Just it shows the existing conditions, and there's a lot of information on here, but some of the items that I've highlighted really talk about the existing flood hazards. So if we look at the bottom of the sheet here, the lines that are highlighted in the kind of orangish color, that's the existing FEMA approximate zone A limits. And you can see the blue dashed line, that's the extent of the 100-year floodplain based on our more detailed hydraulic analysis. Again, this is South Access Road. We've kind of tipped the map so that north is pointing off to the right here. So South Access Road is here. The existing pipes under the road are here. And then you have Handle Road, parking lot for Mount Snow, Snow Lake Lodge, and the Snow Barn.
So the 100-year flood area goes into your parking lot. Correct.
Well, that's what this analysis shows, which again, it's different in that it's a detailed analysis versus the approximate zone is not based on a detailed study. So this is common. You'll see differences between a detailed analysis and an analysis that was done by approximate means.
Right. So forgive me, when you remove Snow Lake, when you turn it back into what it was originally, will that is this picture of what this all will be like with the lake in place?
Correct.
So this is without the lake.
Yeah. So the next slide, I'll show you what the changes look like. And yeah, this is just looking at the existing conditions of what's out there today.
Okay.
And if we look at the top of the page, so now we're kind of looking at it in profile view. So we've taken a kind of a slice through South Access Road, through the impoundment, through Handle Road. So this gray feature here is South Access Road, the roadway embankment. The area in here is Snow Lake. And then at the upstream end, you have Handle Road, and then the channel upstream and the channel downstream. So the blue line that I've highlighted here is the computed 100-year flood elevation. That was, a result of the hydraulic analysis that was put together. And that translates, so these elevations that are shown on this profile translate to the blue dash line when you look at it from above and project those elevations onto the topography of the site.
Gotcha.
So that's existing. On this next slide, we look at the changes that occur once you bring in the project elements of Snow Lake. So if I zoom in here, you can see, so now we've added the 30-foot wide culvert under South Access Road. These shaded areas are where the stormwater treatment practices are proposed. So there's 4 of them. There's one here, And
What do you mean by stormwater treatment practices?
so they're designed to take stormwater from the drainage systems and treat the stormwater to remove pollutants and that kind of thing to help improve water quality of the drainage that's coming off of parking lots and roadways and developed areas.
So is that
So
like mechanical, or is it just sort of natural filtration? Kind of.
Yeah, so Robert, I don't know if you want to take that question real quick.
Sure. So in the old days, we used to just call them stormwater ponds or stormwater treatment practices. Wet ponds was the old style version of it. Under the 2017 Vermont Stormwater Management Manual, there are a couple different preferred practices, and the sort of best tier of practices that we can install here are called gravel wetlands. And so it's a subsurface flow treatment system that on the surface looks somewhat like a pond, but it's relatively shallow. But when you build it, there's actually a gravel bed underneath, and the water passes sort of horizontally or laterally through that gravel and is treated by natural mechanisms, so sedimentation and filtration, as well as sort of microbes in the substrate provide additional nutrient removal processes, and then you have some surface storage on the top that provides some of that detention as well.
So I assume that at some point these areas either fill up or stop up or whatever and have to be redredged or refreshed in some way. Is that accurate?
So there's a sediment forebay for each of these. The site plan that Brian has up right now isn't the detailed stormwater operational permit. So it's not a matter of the entire thing being dredged back out. There's a smaller forebay with settling basin essentially that would be maintained for that, and the rest of the cell shouldn't need to be dredged back out, but it would be maintained, mowed, and you want to keep the woody vegetation from growing in those particular areas, but just those 4 sites where we're displaying the stormwater practices.
So those are, I maybe I misunderstood, but those are like shallow pond areas, or they're more sort of like marshes? Like, is there vegetation growing in there, or are they water with gravel?
There is vegetation growing in there. They will have to be built up somewhat from what the current sort of pond bottom sloping, all the way down to the middle. So there'll be some earthwork to shape these areas so that they are, below the elevation of the road, but above the elevation of the river.
Okay.
If it helps for reference, I don't know if anyone here has noticed, across from the snow barn, there's a pond that was installed a couple of years ago. That is a gravel well stormwater treatment practice, as well as 3 of them within the Corinthia base area that were installed over the last couple of years. It's a similar type practice.
So it's a shallow pond, but it has like marsh plants growing.
I mean, there is some type of wild vegetation that's in there, but it's not like an old wet pond where it's just a sediment pond that's wet all the time. The water works its way through.
Right.
So you'll see after rainfall events, you'll see water in the forebay, which is where the general sediment drops out. And that's what frequently needs to be maintained to remove sediment when that fills up. The rest of the pond it's more of a slower filtration through that. You won't see standing water in those areas.
Okay. I feel like I'm in a very steep part of the learning curve right now. Very steep, like vertical.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Okay.
Answer questions.
Well, you're here to get a permit, but you're going to have to drag me through it. So. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay, no problem. So one of the things to highlight here is that, again, we're showing the existing flood limits in blue. The green is the flood limit once the dam, the outlet controls for the dam are removed, and the culvert is set in place under South Access Road. So you can kind of see that there is some change here. and the the stormwater ponds or gravel wetlands are outside of the floodplain, and this area in through here would be where the channel is restored and the floodplain would exist once the project is built. One thing to note is under this project, the old pump house will be removed, and this area will be lowered to create more flood storage as well.
And wasn't there replacement work or some kind of construction work on the South Access Road culvert already? Wasn't there a grant that you guys, that we got, the town got?
There has been grants involved in this work, and there's also the town had sought a grant for the Handle Road culvert replacement, which will eventually tie in with this project.
Right, but wasn't there work done on the South Access Road already?
Not in any recent years, to my knowledge.
No. Oh.
You may be thinking of the grant that is helping fund some of the design work that's going into this process.
No, yeah, I feel like I'm hallucinating because I could have sworn we had talked about some sort of work being done on the South Access Road already. But maybe I'm tripping.
We did submit an application for grants for both the Snow Lake Dam removal and combined with Handle Road culvert replacement, but that grant was those funds weren't awarded to that project.
Okay.
Can I ask something?
No, you can't because you're not an interested party and you're not participating. So just shut up and say,
Okay.
all right, so is the Handle Road culvert going to get replaced?
And not part of this project, no.
Okay, but the South Access Road culvert is getting replaced.
Correct. It would be a whole new culvert here to replace the culverts and the overflow pipes that are there that control the water level in the lake now.
Okay, and is that paid for by Mount Snow or grants that Mount Snow gets, or is that going to be a town responsibility?
That's all paid for by Mount Snow.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm also on the select board.
So this kind of shows how in plan view the floodplain will change through the former impoundment that is currently Snow Lake. If we scroll back up here, there's a the blue highlights where the existing water level is during a 100-year flood. Excuse me, and the green line shows where that will occur once the South Access Road culvert is replaced. So
you're reducing the flood risk.
Correct. Pretty somewhat significantly. It's almost 9 feet of drop in the flood elevation upstream of South Access Road. And then as you move upstream through the former impoundment, that change is minus 2.4 feet just downstream of the existing Handle Road culvert. So that's the benefit of replacing the outlets for the Snow Lake Dam with a large culvert as far as the flood risks go at this project site. And I do have one more slide, and we can maybe take any questions. This is, again, just an overview of the entire project. And this shows a little bit more of what those stormwater features will look like. Again, the culvert and the channel connecting through and under South Access Road. and the area in between here will become restored channel and floodplain. So as far as the, reductions in flood elevations, that'll help reduce risk of overtopping at South Access Road and restore the floodplain through this reach of the North Branch.
Okay.
So that's the last slide that I have, and happy to answer any questions.
Was
that you may
there?
have.
I thought I remember hearing that once this is constructed, there will actually be access down there, like people can walk alongside the stream. I mean, it would be in the floodplain, so during the flood, obviously they wouldn't, but that there be some sort of recreational benefit to this as well. Am I just not remembering right, or?
There had in the past master plan discussions, there had been discussions, but that's not part of this project this time.
Okay, all right. Okay, Jack, do you have any questions?
Do you have a time frame for the drawdown?
Yeah, we're trying to tie that with getting all of our permits approved. And if that all works out, we're looking at maybe a September drawdown. It's also important just to make clear, drawing down this season is not a requisite of completing construction next year, but there are construction benefits of doing the drawdown this fall to allow the area to dry out and stabilize, versus trying to have some additional construction challenges doing it in the same season.
I assume the South Access Road will be closed.
During construction, correct.
Okay. The flood hazard zone. I'm looking at the illustrations, and it looks to me like it's going to be reduced.
That's correct. Yeah.
Is it a significant reduction or?
Yeah. So if we look at the elevations here, right upstream of South Access Road, it's a reduction of about almost 9 feet, 8.9 feet, between the 100-year flood existing versus the 100-year flood once the project is built. And then at the upstream end near Handle Road, it's about 2.4 feet of reduced flooding at the downstream side of Handle Road.
Okay. That's it for me.
Steve?
Nothing for me. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, Linda?
I always like to ask, why now?
Mr. State of Vermont.
Yeah, so as a requirement, it was first brought up in 2011 during our Active 15 master plan renewal that included the development of Westlake, our current snowmaking impoundment, which is a off-stream impoundment down in Wilmington. And once that was online, the clock kind of started ticking for us with our timeline to.
You no longer needed Snow
It's
Lake.
no longer needed. So Snow Lake leads to there's thermal impacts of an in-stream, unshaded in-stream impoundment, which creates negative thermal impacts to North Branch, the Deerfield River. So that's obviously a big part of this, is bringing that river back to its normal channel, reducing those thermal impacts. Vegetation will begin to grow up alongside of it.
So the flow down is going to improve bordering properties impacted by this change?
Brian, could you speak to what we have for modeling downstream of South Access Road?
Yeah, so there's no real change to any of the flooding that occurs downstream of the South Access Road. there's no new buildings that are impacted or flooded. The flood limits that are currently on the FEMA's flood insurance rate map would still apply. And yeah, these flood limits that we've shown in our detailed analysis kind of fall within that zone.
So there's no improvements for them.
There's no
They've got the
improvements.
same flood risk as they
Correct.
had before.
Correct.
Yeah, I think some of that was addressed by the state's response in here, just one line to reinforce is the results indicate that the base flooding elevations are generally maintained or reduced by approximately 2.4 to 8.9 feet. Accordingly, the dam removal as proposed maintains or improves flood carrying capacity and meets the applicable requirements of the town Dover zoning board from the state. Their definitions. Review.
I read that, but it makes so much more sense when you say it.
It's not, it's just watch what they're for.
Okay, I'm really gonna need an education to be able to even write this decision up. And frankly, a part of me is saying, like, what are we gonna say that is gonna, like, the state's making the call, right? This is Act 250. We don't buck Act 250. Right?
This is just a PUD, so.
This is,
I mean, we write a decision, but
well, basically what we're doing is in the bylaw, we require any activity in the flood hazard zone come before the board for review. But we are not the people who are making the decision as to whether or not it's doable. This goes up to the state planner, and we've gotten the response letter. They've reviewed the engineering, they've reviewed all of this, and they feel positively about it.
and they're way smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Well, that's
On this time,
certainly, but the floodplain and river corridor manager Jessica Barcelo has reviewed all of this and reviewed this with the team, as well as the stream alteration engineers have looked at this. All the state people have looked at this and blessed it. But what we are doing is, our trigger is you're touching something in the floodplain area within our town. We have to know about it. And we have to make sure that we're getting the response back from the state that says yes. So that's kind of our piece of this.
I still don't see what we're doing. I mean, honestly, it feels a little, I understand, and I understand this is how the bylaw is written, but this feels like so much bigger than what the DRB should be sticking its nose into, honestly.
Basically, I think, or my feeling is that the DRB is looking at it and saying, yes, it has been engineered and the state has looked at that engineering and approved it.
So we're just going like this.
And it's to our benefit,
Exactly,
yeah.
it's to our advantage to have this, and we have seen and reviewed it, rather than the state coming in, doing something, and we're like, why are you digging a hole in the mud over there? So it's more of a notification and an understanding, at least that's how I view it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
Rather than we're all engineers.
I've been thinking about this for days, like, what are we gonna do? Robert, looks like you have your hand up.
I put my hand up. I'll just throw a couple words in here. I think one of the key elements that the towns have a responsibility for under the National Flood Insurance Program is to review projects within the floodplain. So that goes back to the flood insurance regulations. And if it's, each town has to participate in the flood insurance program and acknowledge development or activities in the floodplain and confirm through various means that the projects are not going to increase flooding on adjacent or downstream properties. And so that's your role, I think, in this process, is to serve as that reviewer for the town to confirm that the project conforms with the guidance. And then from the technical perspective, you're getting the state's review to say, yes, we understand all the technical aspects of the floodplain, and that letter from Jessica sort of gives you the green light, if you will, to accept the application and sort of move forward on that basis.
I mean,
If that helps.
what if we say no? Like,
There's no reason
There's-
to say no.
right, but what if we just decided to say, well, no, we don't want you to do this. We like Snow Lake, we don't want you to do this, we're gonna just fight it. Act 250 is gonna come in and say,
Okay,
you
right.
can't say no,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So just be happy we're invited.
So
to
we're
the
just,
party.
I'm just gonna sign a letter.
That's it.
So it's,
Yeah. So we can
aren't
vote.
you guys glad you came out for this?
Yeah.
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 Part of the fun.
Well, I mean, it's fun to visit with you. I love seeing you.
Part of the process.
I,
And if I.
God, how many meeting rooms have you sat in?
And in the bylaws, but we're following that procedure.
Okay, so, God, I feel a little ridiculous trying. I apologize. I'm just trying to get my head around this. So, all right. I will entertain a motion. Oh, first of all, does anybody have any more questions? Or
No.
anything they want to say?
I do, but I can't.
You can't. You're not an interested party. You're on the board, so you just sit there.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, but I just want to make sure there isn't just anybody out there, either a board member or one of the part of the team of applicants. Does anybody have anything else they wish to say? I will take your silences. No. All right, so Linda moved. Could I have a second, please, to close the hearing?
Second,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so, we can't take any more testimony. No interested parties can show up and say something now. I have 45 days by statute, 45 days to write this decision. I am going to have to talk to the town attorney to figure out the language that has to be used in this. Because I'm not sure if this is just if this is a one-page, we're ceding authority to Act 250 and you're all set, or if this is a massive write this decision like we're the only ones commenting on it. I don't even know at this point. So this is a question for the town attorney. The good news is, in 45 days, one way or the other, you're gonna have a letter from us. I try to get it done faster than that. That is my goal, but this is not my full-time job, so. So do you guys have any questions for us?
I do.
Okay, do you guys have a gun to your head in terms of timing? Or
Not
is somebody
within
loading,
Yeah,
John?
250 does, but it's not within 45 days.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure if you guys have some sort of overarching, really powerful need to get something done quickly, that I know that before I set out on this.
So,
Okay, all right.
Robert or Brian, you can correct us that from your knowledge, the 45-day window's not concerning to either of you.
I don't believe it's a concern. I think we're entering into the Act 250 process. We know that we'll have at least a 30-day appeal period, or public comment period, excuse me. So, and I don't think that we have an instant draft permit on notice either. So I think that will work just fine. Sooner the better, just because we know the Act 250 permit can't be issued without that town letter, but otherwise, we should be in good shape.
Oh, you need us before Act 250? Oh, okay, that's a little bit more important. You just loaded the gun.
Sorry.
You put it up to my head, but you just loaded it. Okay. All right. Since we voted and since everybody's had their chance to speak, you can unshare your screen so we can see all your faces. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you for your explanation. I really appreciate it. I know a little more about floods than I did before.
Who was Alexandra Horst?
She's from Mount Snow. Okay, she's So given, unless anybody has any other questions or comments, Robert, Brian, and Alex, you are free to go. We're not going to be doing anything that you would be able to participate in starting very soon. You guys are free to go. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your explanation and your patience with not very smart. And we will get going on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Jeanette,
Thank you, everyone.
what do we need? What do you need from us?
So we have minutes from the last meeting, which was way back in January 8th, which was the Rich Kaplan application.
Okay, who was here?
All of you except Linda. Oh, yeah, Steve's still here. So the four of you were here, Jack, you, Jerry, and Steve Montello.
Okay, so, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of January 8th.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, any other minutes or any other business?
The only other thing is I did forward you Steve Palermo's
Resigned.
resignation. So I mean right now, so that brings us back to 5 board members. Well, 4 with an alternate. So
Right.
I don't know. And he was the vice chair, so technically
Yeah.
we should have a second another vice chair. So
Yeah.
at some point I need to
So,
think about that.
okay, so board members, do you want to ask Linda if she wants to become a regular board member instead of an alternate?
Yes,
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
sure.
Okay, so would, we need to write a letter to the select board asking them for your appointment. We can't vote to move you up. Linda.
Hey, Sarah and Steve, anything behind his resignation? Was he moving out of the area or lost interest or what?
I don't know, maybe it was just that he had to write a couple decisions and that was, that did it
That's what
in.
I was thinking.
He was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't
That's-
know, he didn't mention, he didn't speak to me at all about it. It came through Jeanette, so.
I mean, his letter didn't say
Yeah, his letter was very generic.
so.
So is there anyone who would be interested or willing to be a vice chair? The silence is deafening.
Jerry?
Nope.
No,
If nobody else wants
I have
it,
too much going on right now.
Jack, would you step up if we need you?
if nobody else wants it,
I'm not feeling people rushing for the door. Okay, so,
I look at it this way, Sarah, you're always there. The few times you're not, if you give me the cheat sheets that you use,
Right.
yeah,
it should work.
and I do try very hard to be here, but at some point,
I
I'm
know.
gonna have to not be on the board anymore. Like at some
No.
point,
Why?
well, I've done it for 26
Who
years.
cares?
I don't need to set any records. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to appoint Jack as vice chair.
I'll move to appoint Jack. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so Jack, congratulations on your promotion.
I'm thrilled.
Very excited. Yeah, certainly if I'm not able to be here for a hearing and you have to run it, I can give you the sheets. Tabby and Jeanette will walk you through the process. And I
Right.
have years of decisions written
Right.
that I
Right.
can, so if you have a change of use, I have a copy of that you can cheat sheet from and things like that.
Years ago, we all got a chance to write a decision.
Yeah, and you know what happened?
No.
There was a board member who never ever did their decisions.
Oh, well.
And I ended up having to do them like on day 43.
well,
So
that's not good.
that didn't happen.
I remember writing a few.
Yeah, everybody took turns, but
Yeah.
then it fell apart because
That's too
a
bad.
certain one board member
People,
who's not on the board anymore.
people wouldn't accept the responsibility.
So anyway, So Jeanette, are you all set?
Yes, are you
Okay,
doing
so,
deliberative?
I'll entertain a motion to go into deliberative session at 8:27.
So moved.
Okay, we're gonna give
Hey, well,
Jack the
you got
move and
that,
Jerry the
let's
second.
Get that paper for you.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay,
And let me turn off the recording.
Yep.
Going into deliberative.
yep. And Jeanette, you're free to